Hello everyone, I'm DearMYRTLE, your friend in genealogy, but this channel is all about making journals to share ancestral stories and my personal history in an intriguing way with my grandchildren type personages. And I've previously shown you this little, very easy little flip journal, very tiny, and I'm going to talk about this in two parts, how to make this. Okay, this is a little pull-out area. That's not an ancestor, but I digress. I did wear saddle shoes like that. Did you wear saddle shoes when you were in school? Even the guys did in elementary school. They weren't allowed to wear jeans either, which is something completely different from what my grandchildren are experiencing. Instead of this type of a design, I'm planning to take one of my pockets that I made and glue it to the front of this envelope flap. You'll see it's the same width. And I don't know why paper crafters are into using envelopes as the base, but it's very intriguing because what we have are basically two different sized envelopes, a slightly narrow one and one for cards. And you'll see that we've opened the flap on one and added extra glue and superimposed it on top of the card size envelope. Okay, now let me move this out of the way. Since it's autumn time, actually years ago I had some craft paper that I was working with, and it's by Bo Bunny. All sorts of different mix and match colors, shapes, front and back designs, etc. And I've got to find something that's going to wrap around, and it should coordinate with this butterfly. So I'm kind of intrigued by this and this one. So let me move these aside. I think that's just ordinary sandpaper. I'm not sure why that's in this stack, but I just found it. You never know what you're going to find when you clean out the armoire in your craft room. All right, we've got to find something. If we look at this sample, we've got this tea-dyed craft paper or graph paper that folds around from here and goes all the way around the back, and that's it. All right, so we've got to find something that's at least that big, which this one is not. Let's try the next. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's use that. Okay, so I'm going to mark it so I will know where to cut it on my cutter. Now, I have a good Fisker's cutter that's just perfect for doing this, but it doesn't fit on my craft table. It's right behind me, so I'm going to turn around, oops, and cut this paper so that we can then begin to use it. I will pause and be right back. Okay, I'm back, and let's see what I've done here. I've cut my craft paper. It's really pretty on the other side, but a very faint pattern. So we want most of it. Oh, it's not going to fit. Did I cut it incorrectly? Let's try this. Ah, okay, this happens. We're not worrying about it. The most important thing is to protect this seam right here, because if all the paper goes to the edge and this seam has not got any reinforcement, it's going to be weak as it's opened and closed. I also noticed that we need to put a little glue here. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue again because it dries very quickly. There's no glitter involved. Some people will be very disappointed by that. Okay. All right. All righty. So let's figure out how we can use this shorter than I wanted piece of orange, beautiful fall colors. Notice I cut it slightly smaller than the envelope, because I'm planning to use a little bit of my distress ink in the to cover up the white. Add some dimension there. Okay, so I'm going to do this and just begin to fold this over so that that outside will be fine. This will be fine. And the cover, oh, that's going to look sharp when we're done. All right. This time I'm going to use some clear gel tacky glue if I have some, or fabric tack, which actually works very well. And I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. It's so pretty. So obviously I'm going to be able to mix and match, and it's a non-issue. Oh, apparently we haven't used this bottle before. Let me use yucky scissors to cut the plastic, and away we go. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. I could have used the art glitter glue, it's just a little more expensive. Okay, so let's see if we can do getting this here. Ooh, and I need to put glue on this side, don't I? Didn't go far enough with the glue. But I'm mostly worried about this seam and this. Okay, we'll use our art glitter glue because it dries very quickly. It's way more expensive, not just slightly more expensive, it's way more expensive than tacky glue, which I think works fine. All right. It's okay that the white shows because we're going to use the ink. All right. Now remember, I forgot to add enough of this for the back, so I'm going to go ahead and add the glue. All right. Won't take it long to set. Okay, now let's take our bone and help it fold over without having a big terrible crease. Got to start somewhere. Okay, there's our first side. The back side needs a little help, and we can put this right on top if we wish and take it from there. Now we're going to use this little pocket to pull something out, but as you know, I tend to do a tab or some kind of a pull, and if I did that, do you see how the tab would get in the way? So it's entirely possible that I could use two smaller items, or I can do what I'm planning to do, which is cut just a little bit in so that more of this pocket is showing. It'll take a little work, and I will do that and be right back. I know how to hit the pause button. Okay, so a second ago I stopped the recording so that I could fiddle around and cut back into this envelope a little bit so that it could accommodate an embellished card with a little tab, a pull tab, and it will fold just perfectly. So now I need to find some companion prints and go from there. How's our glue? It's working pretty well. Okay, don't want to put this on the front until we're ready, but these two elements we know are going to go in this project. So a good idea, and we've noticed we have this yucky looking blue pattern, which is not our color scheme. So all we need to do is get something that will mix and match. Ooh, all kinds of cards and different things. I think I'll save that. and cut it to insert and have it extend over here and into the back side. So it's going to cover up here, and then we just have to deal with this part. All right, so we take another break. So now we've returned with some interesting mix and match paper. We put it up in view of the camera that I've cut just enough to slip into this opening where we will eventually put our pull tab little card, little journaling card. Okay, and we need it to come around over the back, and I'm just figuring all this out. All right, here we go. And we've got to do this, don't we? So I'm going to, how shall I do this first? I think I will try it a little differently than I did. We'll try just putting glue on the fold over part. And I really like having the mix and match papers. But I'm not buying this kind of stuff so much anymore. I mean, I love it, but it gets expensive at $1 a sheet. I've learned to go for free prints, things along that line. Okay, we've got this matched up. Now we're letting it, now we're seeing that it will go in there. It's never quite perfect. Let's see, there we go. Notice that I live in a very dry climate and sometimes this happens. This will be very easily covered up when I use the distress ink along this edge. And we won't notice it really at all. In fact, it'll add to some of the intrigue. Okay, haven't even begun to do that. All right, now we're going to have to put glue here and also a little bit on this part so that we can then take this, insert that underneath into the smaller envelope and then press. So that's our plan. Shall we do it? Let's do it. Okay, better do this here. You know, just like anything you do, like genealogy research, there are certain tools that work really well and you tend to use them again and again. Like we use census records to find where people are every 10 years in the US from 1790 on, with the exception of the 1890. Oops, and then we've got to put some on this little part. And I love this art glitter glue. It's quite bold, this orangey, flowery thing. Okay. All right, and because it dries quickly, I have to remember to put the little pin in the lid or it seizes up and I have to take the whole thing in the bathroom or in the kitchen and whoops, now we've got to fit this in. I have to take it in there to put it under hot water and loosen up and remove that glue. Okay. All right. So any little parts where the glue didn't go, use some kind of a brayer, or this was a vinyl applicator in the days when my daughters were into vinyl lettering to put on the walls. All right, now we've got to go again to find out where that fold will be and gently encourage it to do its job. Okay. Okay, there we are, and all we need to do now is decorate this part. So what have we got that would be intriguing? Might take some music here. Very old music. And, find my deckled edge. Ruler from We Are Memory. It's called the We Are Tear Guide. Okay, and I'm letting it be slightly irregular. Move it up. I'm going to tear this off. I like the deckled edge. And even though this is at an angle, it's still covering up too much of the wraparound. So I'm going to shorten. Ooh, I don't want to go too short, do I? Better just go straight and play it safe. All right, let's see how that looks. I tend to put it upside down. Okay, and we just need to tear it right there. Because it's to be an embellishment, not music to read or play or sing. All right, folks, so I'm going to glue this here very quickly, then we'll add the front part. Ooh, that's a very pretty side. I actually like that side better. Can I do it? Yeah, I can wipe that glue off. Happy little surprise. Okay. All righty. And we'll fit it on there. The only trouble with it is that it's slightly crooked, and oh good, I can remove it. Because it's art glitter glue, you can't swish it around or smush it around. Is that a technical term? I think it is, but it'll be fine. And now I will put the cover on it, just to show you what it's going to look like. Now, I'm going to use the art glitter glue on the back of this tissue homemade glassine bag. And I want this embellishment of this real lace to add texture and intrigue to the cover here. Okay, it looks like it's going to go on just fine. Now I just need to put some fabric or something to pull this out with, and then I'll be able to add a journal entry there. All right, when we come back next time, oops, let's put our little tab card, our little journaling card there. We still have to deal with this inside, and so it's very easy. I'll show you how I made this little notepad out of practically nothing, and this is just ordinary typing paper, printer paper. It's all doable. I'm going to add a few more embellishments just to spice it up a little bit, but that's how I make this very tiny journal from scratch. Nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing, everybody, and journal making. That's a wrap.